Incoming stream. Warning, incoming stream. Oh no, there's a glitch. Everyone's going to be turned into nulls. Hi, everybody.
How many times?
It's bloody late. I had a very busy day at work today. I almost forgot to eat, but then I did eat, and then I had an even busier day at work. And I made it home, and my work was like, "Hey, you're not done work yet. You got to do some more work." And I'm like, "God dang it." So yeah, very exciting day today in Toronto, Canada. Let me tell you. Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Evening.
Thank you for being so patient and waiting for me. We have Hydra. Say hello, Hydra.
Hello.
We have Flynnhammer. Say hello, Flynnhammer.
Hello.
And we have special bonus. Who is our special bonus today? Want to say hello, special bonus?
Hello, special bonus.
There we go. That sexy voice can only be one man. The one, the only, the beat poet extraordinaire, Symbio Joe. Otherwise known as inventor of the internet's fastest growing game, What's in the can? How you doing, Symbio?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. I just stumbled in here. Where are we, Nick?
Like a drunken lunatic. You know what, Symbio?
Huh?
You're the special guest today. You tell us where we're at this week. While I try and figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Okay, let me turn on the lights.
Okay, first, this is if you didn't tell by this shoddy intro, you've tuned into the internet's #1 Tyranid shit show, the Creature Conference, and I am Modern Synthesist, Mr. Pink. And what we do every week on the Creature Conference is we decide. Oh, it's not plugged in. That would help. We decide what part of Rick Priestley's expansive mansion we are coming to people from. So, Symbio Joe, you do the honors. You let us know what part of Rick Priestley's mansion you're coming to people from today.
I think someone was already here someday, but is everyone holding on? Because I think we are in the laundry chute.
I think we did do that before, but it's a good place. It's a good choice. I like it.
Yeah, I see some leftovers, so someone has been here before.
Yeah.
Something
Fantastic.
rotting in the corners.
Well, not now anymore. I'm here to eat it.
I feel like whenever Symbio does this, he's always talking about food. He's always like, "Oh, I'm in the dumpster with some half-eaten delicious kebab or something."
Someone should do. We are the devourer.
Are you a very hungry man? Oh, right. We are the great devourer.
Yeah.
That is a good point. I missed that. Good man. Oh, that's interesting.
Hooray!
Yeah, so thanks everyone for your patience. Anyone who's still stuck around after all that waiting. I didn't realize just how messed up my screen was. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy everyone else is here. And I'm happy that Simon can finally give us a report on something that I've been looking forward to hearing from him for some time now, which would be you attended a fancy German gaming event recently. What was that?
That was the Spiel.
The Spiel.
The Spiel. I think it's... Yeah?
Go ahead.
I think it's one of the largest gaming conventions in the world. Well, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I've said
I know.
that.
I was going to say, didn't we start talking about this and then your kid got sick or something and we couldn't finish?
Yeah, pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go back and start there. So we have a town called Essen, which is the German word for food. But yeah, in that they are running this. No, it's not a convention; it's a fair, I guess, or
yeah,
a fair for I don't know, like 10, 15 years, even longer.
Yeah,
I haven't looked it up yet. But yeah, it's been a long time since that show is around. and my personal story to that is that I have been at some point. Well, my first gaming convention was, of course, the Games Day, and when that kind of got, I don't know, it didn't get old, but it got boring. People from Games Workshop told me that there's another convention called the Spiel, and that they were going there because there were also other manufacturers and other games to be seen and stuff like that. And so I guess it was like 10 years ago that I started going there.
Yeah.
Um,
I got to run and do something. You just keep talking, okay?
yeah.
You take it away. You're in charge.
So
wait. First, what are you doing?
I'm using UV resin
Oh.
because
Are you wearing sunglasses?
No.
Do you need to worry
Why?
about like staring at that UV light? I don't know how this works.
I'm not staring into the light. I'm basically
okay.
I'm holding it there, and yeah, I'm not holding it into my eyes.
Good.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
Spiel, I went there, well, for ages apparently. And the beauty of that is as I said, you don't have just one manufacturer like when you go to Games Day, but you have like all the different kinds of things. And over the years, the Spiel has really developed from like there used to be like a small part of they have like different halls. I think 4, 5, 6 different halls in which every board game you can dream of, from little things that are about to kickstart up to like the known things are represented there. Um, and what they offer there is you can go there and test play all the games, and of course you can buy them there. Um, and you go there, and yeah, it's massive. Maybe if you go a bit forward, Flynn.
It's not on the stream yet. Just waiting for Nick to put it on the stream, so when he gets back. But Jesus.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah.
So who did you go with?
Sorry.
Did you go with anybody?
Yes, I went with two dudes from Maga Botato, the German tabletop podcast. And they stayed at my house on Saturday evening, and we went there by car the next morning all together, and that was pretty awesome, because I used to go with a couple of other friends, and yeah, it's kind of tricky to go to a convention with your friends because you all have probably different interests. And they were more interested in board games because they had checked out the tabletop hall the day before, so they went there on Saturday and on Sunday. Um, and yeah, I'm not interested in playing any card games or board games. I just want to see the tabletop stuff, and for that, one day is enough. If you want to see the whole convention, you have to go there all weekend. It starts on Thursday and goes up to Sunday, and you will need that time to see everything because it's incredibly full. It's like probably if you think of a gaming store and you upscale that store into a convention, like every booth is a different game, and that's incredible. And yeah, they used to have like a manga show where they were doing where they were having like comics and mangas, and in that hall they put the tabletop stuff. And at some point, the tabletop stuff got so big that they got their the tabletop area, was bigger than the comic part, and the comic part suddenly, became part of the tabletop area. Well, that's not very interesting, but it has developed. That's what I want to say. It has developed from different states of interest. And when LARPing, live action role playing, became big in Germany, like it was almost like there was only booths full of latex swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they had, for a good while, they had taken over. This year, I have seen not a single what?
That was Nick in the background.
Yeah, I thought he said something. I did not see a single booth for LARPing.
Oh.
And Games Workshop was well. There was a weird time when Games Workshop said, "Well, we have the Games Day, and so we have our own convention. Why would we bother to pay all the money for a booth there?" And that meant, what was that?
Someone
Sorry, I
dropping
just
off.
turned on. Oh, I turned on Flynn's stream. I realized that
Okay.
might be helpful.
Yeah.
So one year, Games Workshop decided not to show up, and that was pretty grave, because all the other companies who relied on Games Workshop showing up and kind of getting their people.
Halo effect.
Yeah, probably. So they relied, and suddenly I think one year the tabletop area was really poor, but Games Workshop apparently felt that, because the next year they were back, but just with a little booth. And well, it has developed over the years. And 8 years ago, for example, I went there to and met a couple of dudes sitting there with coming from Poland, presenting their game, and they had nothing but a prototype and a couple of cast miniatures for that. And they were kind of trying to find someone who would buy and sell their game. And the next year I came back, they were there again, and I had a great chat with them, and they were still there with their game, and they were trying to launch it via Kickstarter, and try to make promotion for it there. And I think that's the Kickstarter failed, but on the convention they got to know Titanforge. And so they teamed up with Titanforge, and now Titanforge is their game was called Lobotomy, which had a really fun concept, like gaming concept. And they kind of met there and got into talking, and kind of teamed up on the Spiel. And that's basically how it is. You have like booth after booth after booth, and as a visitor, you can go and talk to the people who make the games, take demo games, talk most of the time talk to the developers who are standing there. Of course, not GW, but like smaller games. For example, Freebooters Fate, which is a German located pirate game, tabletop pirate game. And their creative team is there and talking to the fans and stuff like that. Or Corvus Belli is there, like lots of big names. Even Cool Mini or Not with their Death May Die board game were there 2-3 years ago. So there's it's a great bunch of people there. Which also get to talk to each other, which kind of creates interesting, synergy. I'm not sure synergy is the right word, but they talk to each other and team up and link, and I really like that. It's a very communicative event. So if you go forth through my story, I try to picture like take a take a little break at every booth that I went, take a picture and link the eh,
I'm gonna just play it through and let me know you want me to pause.
yeah. Uh,
Easier, I think.
and compared, well, I have not been there last year, and I talked to people who have been there last year, and they said in comparison, last year's Spiel was more excited because everyone was happy to go back after COVID. And this year we went on a Sunday, and Sunday was for me pretty is one of the most chill days because if you go back one slide, yeah, there you can see that the gangways are pretty wide, so 3 or 4 people can even walk side by side. That's not how it used to be. This is kind of a countermeasure for COVID, so they were giving people more space. Of course, that meant that there were less people to show their less booth, but they still had plenty. Did feel this year like not everybody who was, showed up, so they would have had more space for more. And still everyone was could walk comfortably. It really depends on which day you go. Like it usually is around our fall holidays. So if you go on Thursday, Thursday is usually the best day. It's the first day. Everybody on the booth is fresh and happy to chat. Um, and they on Thursday, a lot of people don't have the time to go to the fair, so or to the convention. And if you go on Friday and Saturday, those hallways are packed with people. You cannot walk. You are being shoved from one booth to the next booth. So that was usually really packed. So we always try to take one of the other days. And this Sunday, it really felt empty. I heard from other people who said the other days were pretty busy, but I felt like there were less visitors than last year, which is to me a good thing because it meant more freedom for myself.
Yeah.
So if you continue, the first step we stopped is Archon Studios, of course, for the Masters of the Universe skirmish board game.
I'm just going to refresh it because it's not playing through. I don't know why it's not playing through.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
So the thing is that with Archon Studio is, I don't want to go into detail, but they did this weird board game Masters of the Universe thing that is still not released. They release it via Kickstarter, and people could look at those things there, like see what the Kickstarter will be one day. Um, but you can buy the Masters of the Universe skirmisher. So people were playing the other game there, and yeah. So if you go to the next slide, that's the Kickstarter everyone's waiting for, and I happily did not back, but oh yeah, this was a great game to see because this is, if you go regularly, you can see people coming up with ideas, and sometimes, like the game I mentioned earlier with lobotomy, they will stick around. And we saw like 4 years ago those dudes standing there with a prototype of this game, which is basically two catapults. And you have to build little fortresses with those plastic bricks, and you get a
That's so
plastic
cool.
to shoot each other's castle, and that's hilarious. And they have this weird add-ons in the middle where you kind of can try to shoot this mountain, and then the balls get shot in different directions. Or another addition is on the left side you have like a
Is that a
hydra.
Hydra?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
hydra dragon,
cool.
and the middle head of it will flip back and throw the ball. and on the right side you have like a Viking ship with a ball thrower on it. So it looks like it is a massively fun game, and they were quite honest about how the Spiel were going for them. So after they were there with their prototype 4 years ago, so they shortly before COVID, so they found
Mhm.
someone to help them publish their game, and then COVID hit, and they pushed the game forward, the game's development forward during COVID, and then they came
Yeah.
back last year, and they were sold out on the second or third day, because like
Whoa.
everyone was there going crazy. And this year they said we have brought triple the stock, and it's Sunday, and we still have some stock left, and that's weird. It's a weird feeling. We even sold more than last year, but we have so much stock here that kind of warps the their own assumption of if the Spiel has been successful for them or not. But it really was, and I'm next year I'm going to get the game for the boys because I think it will be fun.
Can you get it online? Does it have to be from Spiel or like do they sell it anywhere else?
They probably will, but one of the things that I really enjoy is if you go there, you talk to the people and who invent the game, and you can buy the
Yeah.
game directly from them. And
Yeah.
they when you buy that online by a third party, I'm not in the need for the game like right now, but if you buy it from
Gotcha.
but if you buy it on Amazon or any other place, they will not get the full price. And every money I drop there will help them to pay their booth there. And
Right.
and like they don't take the full money because they have to pay the booth for it. But I feel like more money gets to the people who made the game than secondary companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great to see them back, and it's great to see people in like coming up with new things. That's this till 5 a.m. games, which is like a horror game, and they have put like big effort into buying people to design their miniatures and their stuff, and it's incredible to see where 3D printing has arrived. And one of the main things that I have learned this year was that there's a very thin line between board games and tabletop games now, because when you look at
Yeah.
those miniatures, those are, I think, like every second game has their miniatures painted by Giraldes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Angel or whatever.
yeah, it's incredible. Like I feel they had miniatures painted by Angel, and I think I cannot say one company I have visited that did not have at least a couple of miniatures painted by him.
It's
That was
clearly
great.
his team. He clearly just like farms it off to some dude in his studio, and then like
Of
he's like, "Oh
course,
yeah, it was painted by me."
no, of course it is. He doesn't make it a secret that he has a studio with different people working for him. And when you look at the miniatures, it's worth every cent, because no matter how clumsy sculpted the miniature looks, if he paints it, it looks like gold.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so investing, well, when you think about, I think someone said like he takes for his studio charges for a small miniature, like 28 standard sized miniature, 300 or 400 euros.
Oh my god.
And you can
Wow.
think about
Okay.
how much like larger scale models cost.
Yeah. Wow.
But when you look at the
I
miniatures,
guess that's why we mostly see him paint small things.
yeah. But it's worth it. And I honestly have to say I'm happy that there's at least someone out there who can live from that hobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we continue, that was the till 5 a.m. which really makes it hard to see the line between is it a board game or is it tabletop? And this has happened so often. Well, here
Yeah.
we have Corvus Belli, which is sporting the more Angel miniatures, and they had brought their new Kickstarter with them, and because they are going into fantasy, they're launching a fantasy skirmisher, and before they
Oh
do that,
yeah.
they kind of launch that. It's called Warcrow, and they first launch a dungeon crawler, which is supposed to be rather role play. And afterwards, they're going to release the skirmisher system, which shall
Okay.
be great as well. And
I was confused because you had that Aleph miniature. I'm like, what? That doesn't look like fantasy.
yeah. But yeah, like those miniatures on the pictures, they already look good. But if you have ever seen Angel miniatures, painted miniatures painted by Angel up close personal, that's a
Oh no,
whole
I've only seen them online. Oh, that'd be
that's
amazing
a
to
whole
see.
different story. It is incredible. We were standing in front of those Aleph miniatures for, I don't know, for 10 minutes, and we're just marveling at the blends.
Wow. Okay.
That was crazy. Yeah, and just next to them, well, if you go, we're a bit quick here.
Yeah, I'm just letting you play through. Sorry.
Sorry. If you go back one more, we have, you see the Warcrow logo on the dude's shirt. Of course,
Yeah.
they did not just offer Infinity. They also offered the Aristea arena battle thing they have.
Was that still happening? I didn't know if Aristea was still around.
I think so, yeah. And it's
Okay.
I never played it, but from what I have heard, people are really enjoying it.
I actually played it. I tried it once.
Ooh, look at you.
Back when I thought I was going to get into Infinity, there was like an Infinity Club in Toronto and they had Aristea. And they were like, hey, why don't you come and have a game with us? So I like went and played a game of Aristea. I think I was the big fat panda guy. I don't know.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. And I got one of the miniatures from Warcrow, from Corvus Belli.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
that is really fancy because give me a sec, I just grab it. 1 sec.
Yeah. It's going to screw up my whole video setup now. Glenn, how you doing?
Not too bad. I'm just working on my November project at the moment.
Good. How's your new job?
Just finished the 3rd week of training. It's not too
Yeah.
bad. It's because where I'm working at the regulator for what I was used to be doing. It's
Yeah.
a
You
lot
get
of
to
it
call
is
your former employers and
transferable.
tell them that they're shit.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I basically get the customers calling up saying they're shit. So,
Oh, okay.
but it's a bit more of a, I can just go, yeah, go to this place, talk to these people, rather than having to actually be like, oh no, we're really sorry. We'll try and do better next time. New place is like, yeah, what you need to do is go to here, do this and do that. We can't do anything. We
All
just
right,
regulate
Simon,
them.
we got your video back up.
Yeah. Cool. Can you see what I'm holding in the camera?
I can. It's perfect positioned.
Good.
Not for stream though. There we go. There you go.
Oh,
It's
it
on
was
stream
catching
now.
up. There we go. You're good.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching through phone.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is what they gave me. This is
They gave it to you? You didn't buy it?
yeah, I said I have Instagram, and
Hi, my name's Hydra. I'm famous in the Instagram, the Infinity community. You need to give me some free models.
they had like a sign in one of their cabinets saying, if you are on, if you have a blog or blah blah, come talk to us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I said, well,
Look at that. Games Workshop could take a hint.
Yeah, I should give it at least a shot. And so I went to the counter and said, well, you have that sign there saying, if you have blah blah. And I just thought maybe I should give it a try. And they said, oh yeah, so cool. And they looked up my profile, and then they gave me this this bag of goodies. And
cool. So you passed muster. Congratulations, man. You're officially a miniature influencer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Look at me.
Awesome.
So yeah, what the specialty about this is that this is called Zeocast, which is getting famous, or is getting more influential in the miniature world, because it's a resin cast, but it's a spin cast as well. So it's you can cast on a very crisp detail, and you have pretty good cast. I don't know if this thing appears flash or if it's, I think it should go, but the thing is that they have resin that is more flexible. I don't know if you see that, but this horn is really bendable. They need to have this flexibility, because when they pull the models from the mold, if the resin is too brittle, it would snap off. And I think afterwards, as a game piece, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Having such a delicate piece being so bendable is pretty good. When you think about Forge World or other resin products where it would snap off, I think that's
the only thing I'd be concerned about is cleaning. Like, I feel like whenever I've had a model that's more flexible, it's like sometimes hard to clean flash off of rubbery materials. But have you found that? Is there much flash that you have to clean?
Well, there's a little flash here, but I can almost scratch it off with my fingers.
Okay.
So good. I have heard that Corvus Belli has invested in this kind of technology, because they want to get rid of the pewter also for Infinity.
So Infinity is still pewter. They haven't switched Infinity over to this material yet?
Parts. They like big sets like remotes or tags are being produced in this new material.
Oh, nowadays. Nice.
Yeah. So they're finally, because the metal price is just, they don't want to pass downwards the increases on the metal.
It's classy of them.
Yeah. And so they have taken money into their hands and invested in this Zeocast technology. Because I know that like 4 or 5 years ago, or even longer, the Zeocast dudes were standing on the Spiel somewhere on the side, like being everybody's weirdo, like, yo, look at them, they're spin casting resin things, weird things. And nowadays everybody's doing it, because with 3D printing, this is so easy now. We'll get to that later on. But the basic idea is that if you have sculpted a model on by hand, then you have to make a cast of that, and then you have to make cast of that cast to get this whole spin wheel full. So it adds up. So it makes it. I think there are 9 or 12 miniatures in one spin. In one mold. So to make those casts of the casts of the cast, that's really I think that's not very economic. But if you have like a 3D printer, you can print 3 times or 12 times, 15 times the same model. Then you can get way quicker your molds full.
Nice.
But we'll get to that.
Question in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you're going to talk about this later, but Owl Shield is asking, how is Zeocast to cut? Because they've heard that it's not fun to cut.
Owl Shield is here. And that's the dude from Necropolis.
Oh, that's why the name looked familiar. Sweet. Isn't that what you were working on earlier?
Yeah, I said that I'm going to speed paint my Necropolis stuff for tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to play some Necropolis for the first time, and I don't
Well,
have
better hook it
my
up.
war game painted, and that's the task for tonight. So let's see how it cuts. I would say it almost cuts as like plastic,
Okay.
and it, of course, it's a little bendy, but that's not too bad. And
Yep.
the little flash I talked about earlier, you can just cut that away with not much effort.
Mhm.
I would say it's pretty cool.
Not
But
too
then,
bad.
as you see, there's not much flesh on this model. But for example,
Yeah.
here's one up front. There's a little. Of course, scratching like on other resin is not as easy,
Mhm.
but it still works. So with the tip of the blade, it goes away. So yeah, I think the cast is pretty amazing, and with very little flesh, so little things to do, little things to cut, and cutting the material itself, I would say is like, yeah, plastic.
You're not concerned. You're not like, oh man, this is annoying or anything like that.
No, and although it's kind of wobbly here, of course, but if that piece would be stiff, that would really suck,
Mhm.
because that would easily break.
So I've
So like
got two more
worthwhile trade-off. Oh, so
two
go
more
ahead, Flynn.
questions.
Yep.
Silvio Joe going, will it blend? And lukewarm, as I'm guessing that's lukewarm reception on Instagram,
Oh,
says,
lukewarm reception. Hey.
is it fileable? Never mind,
Ooh,
lol,
good
scratch
question.
test
Oh,
done.
good question. I have luckily look at us
Simon,
being
question.
here. Sorry.
Simon, do you file? How do you feel about filing miniatures? Having to file miniatures?
It really depends on the surface.
Because I
I think
personally hate filing miniatures, and if I can avoid it, I will. I never file my miniatures ever.
it's one tool in a toolbox.
Yeah, but you don't avoid it. I do avoid it. That's what I was trying to get at.
I think
Why?
it also depends on
It's just messy.
it depends on what what material you file. So it doesn't really file very well
Yeah.
because it it doesn't really flake off as plastic would into small dust, but more into something that's more like the little crumbs from an eraser,
Ooh.
like these little sausages. But
Is
it's
that
still.
called spalling? Is that the word for that? Does anyone know?
I-
Where's our material scientist when we need them?
but you can do it. So it's just just a tiny bit annoying to clean up.
Yeah.
I would advise to cut it.
Yeah. So not filing. I'd love it because I don't want to file anyway.
Yeah, and I think you don't have to do much of that here anyway.
Yeah.
Can you see all those little bells in the hair? That's pretty
Not
amazing.
really. Sort
Yeah.
of. You're pointing. It's good you're pointing them out. They weren't immediately apparent.
There and there and there and there and there. I think that's a pretty cool thing because I don't know. Let's move on. Otherwise, we'll be here tomorrow. Okay, so
Right.
Corvus Belli was a great stop. Always great people. And next to them was Microd Studios, and they have this amazing game called Jesus, it's amazing, but I forgot the name.
Is it
They did not
for-
give you a free package.
Nope.
That's death
What?
dressed up. Is it
Yeah, but
for
if you go back one more, they
Oh shit! Sorry, hold on. I gotta get that back up. I switched to Hydra's feed.
oh
Okay. Okay. Pulling it up now. Okay. It'll come back on the stream very soon, but it's up on our screen now.
yeah, 1 second. There we go. I'll wait until I can see it on the stream. Wow, my stream must be really behind. There we go.
No, I don't know. Yep.
Can you see it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see tentacles and like a dude with a
The
funny
old-
hat and a butcher knife.
Yeah, that's their homebrew miniature game. It sadly has a weird scale, so you
Oh.
cannot really play it on your average tabletop board game. Well, Microd Studio is known for terrain, but
Yeah.
they have
Don't they do
also
like MDF terrain? Is that
yeah
what
yeah
I'm remembering?
MDF terrain first and foremost for Infinity, and
Infinity?
then
Yeah.
they did other things as well. But they have for the sake of me, I cannot remember the name of the game, but it's really funny. It's kind of steampunk setting, which has all kinds of weird and funny mechanics. For example, there's a one of the factions are the bobbies, so like the
Cops?
policemen, yeah, like the
Yeah.
cops, but those with those Victorian styled heads you would see around running around with Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And for example, the game mechanic for them is you have to place like crime scene markers on the table, and they are only active if they're investigating. Otherwise, they are standing around eating donuts, and you have to kind of maneuver them into getting investigative and looking at crime scenes. Otherwise, they would just stand around.
Okay.
Which is really hilarious. Yeah, so they have also a couple of cool miniatures. For example, an old lady controlling a swarm of tentacles.
Not right up your alley or anything.
Yeah, but also other great things. So if you, as I said, the scale is sometimes a little bit weird, but if you're into, I would say more painting rather than playing, those are a bunch of amazing miniatures.
Cool.
And what they have is the license for miniatures for Terry Pratchett.
Oh,
Which is
Discworld?
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Discord.
for Discworld miniatures. They also are sadly a weird scale, so you cannot, put
Okay,
them next to
explain
one.
weird scale. Too small for 28 millimeters, too big, like
Too big, too big.
too big.
So they would go rather to like 35.
Yeah.
Which is great because you can greatly display like details and stuff.
Easier
But
to paint.
it's easier. Yeah, I think they're basically, I think they're collector items and painting items.
Yeah.
They also have busts and death on his motorcycle and stuff like that.
Is that Santa Death?
Yeah,
Yep, that's the Hogfather death.
the Hogfather. Yes.
Oh, okay, from Discworld. This is the part
Yeah.
where I don't know Discworld.
Did you
There's
not see the Sky Productions for Discworld? They did
Yeah.
the Hogfather
Sorry?
and Going Coastal.
There's a movie to it, and it's actually pretty amazing. It's a great it's
Okay.
a great adaptation.
Cool.
So kids, it's a great Christmas movie. I'm watching it every Christmas.
Yeah, it's actually quite a good film.
Yeah.
It's split into two parts. So you've got Mr. Tiatami
Oh yeah, Mr. Tiatami. Oh,
or
gee,
Mr. Tea Time.
he's so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Next.
There.
Lovely.
Who's next? Yeah, they didn't have an Instagram handle, and I did not. Well, stop. Please go back one slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have like they have a game, and I just I thought maybe someone finds this interesting. I'm not very keen into mixing like real world things with board games and stuff like that. That's to me, it's always a little bit cringy, but there they
Mhm.
were, and I thought, they're kind of probably supporting someone at home, and so I wanted to give them some support. And then I turned around the corner.
You want the next one?
Yes, and then we go to the next slide, and the grim dude in the back there, that's brother Vinny, and Brother Vinny is he's already a rather controversial dude.
Yeah.
He looks always like this every year. He's on every convention. And no one knows what he actually does because he cannot live from the miniatures. He's known for making naked women.
Oh, okay.
And he has them in very
Suggestive poses.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
got, maybe he does a roaring trade in naked ladies. Maybe there's a lot of neckbeards who really need those naked lady miniatures.
maybe, yeah. But if you want to have nice naked ladies, you go to Hassle Free and not take
Oh, okay.
stuff.
His are
And-
questionable.
Yeah, well, he has like S&M stuff.
Okay,
but-
gotcha.
The thing is that he has things in his in his portfolio called a Ukrainian war slave, something like that.
Oh, I've heard of this. Okay, yeah.
And I don't know if he ever spoke out about that loud, but
Is the dude Russian?
yes. But a friend of mine who was with
Oh.
me got into like he has read things about him and stuff like that, and he got so angry that he said we cannot walk past the booth because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do. Like in times like this, you cannot have like Ukrainian war slave in your shop because there would be no problem just calling it a slave or whatever, but
Yeah.
having it specifically
Prisoner.
this, that's
Sorry, go ahead.
that's either on purpose or very insensitive.
Yeah.
And it was so ironic because just right next to the Ukrainian company, he was standing there, and
Oh.
yeah, my friend really got enraged and said, "Well, look at him coming to us, taking our money is good enough for him, but blah blah blah." He got really angry, and I found it very ironic.
Yeah.
And usually his booth had always been stopped for us because he used to have like a bits box where he had miscasts
Yeah.
sold for cheap. And he also has like sci-fi stuff and Vikings and historical miniatures.
Yeah.
But we skipped his shop completely this year.
Did it seem like other people were skipping him?
Not really. No, not
Okay.
really. Okay. Next, Flynn. Yeah. Malaysia was there. And they were having.
Did they have any paints?
Of course, they had any paints, and you could sign up for painting a beholder and having someone up front telling you how to paint it. It was actually pretty
No,
big.
that was the joke because apparently Vallejo is doing a really poor job of keeping their paint stocked in stores around the world.
Oh, yeah, they kind of did. They're coming up with new colors in like around now, like their own contrast kind of thing, and they had like 6 boxes of them and they were sold out on the first day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about something to do with that later if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, here we go. I wonder if they're any good. Their contrast paints.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Leo, if you're watching, send us some to try out.
Yes,
Leo's
we're
not watching.
influencers now.
You should have gone up to them and been like, "Hello, I have an Instagram. Give me some of your contrast paints."
They were sold out anyway.
They could have still shipped you a box.
Yeah, probably not. They have Angel Giraldes. Who else do you want?
Golden Demon winner. I think they kind of want one of those.
How many Golden Demons did win Giraldes, huh?
Angel must have won a Golden Demon by now. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think
You've
he
still
doesn't
got
beat you.
Marco. Well, you could just said, "Oh, send them to Marco." Marco will send them on to us.
I don't know. Maybe he's the Russian. Maybe he's like that Russian guy who's like Golden Demon. I'm too good. The competition's for plebs. Sorry, too soon.
I've ever entered.
Mhm.
That's what the guy was.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Simon.
No, go next slide.
Yeah, it's guy.
Yeah, watercolors is basically painting stuff. MacForce Germany is
Oh, that's really cute with the smoke. I like that.
yeah, they were a BattleTech group, and they are a bunch of old dudes like being all BattleTech, and they're like, oh yeah, you're interested, so great, and look at that, and I look at the sheet, and at the game itself, and it looks like such an upkeep of things to sign off, and yeah, that's not
Brother
my-
Pink, yeah, Brother Pink is into BattleTech, and it's like, yeah, you gotta like, you have like a sheet that has like all the parts of your mech, and you gotta like keep track of where you've gotten damage. And
Yeah.
like, I'm sure that appeals to some people, but
yeah, not me.
you know,
It looks amazing, but
it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything about wave colors tabletop?
They are basically a studio doing paint jobs. And I found that curious that there's like having paint studios having a booth there, and they were pretty good. So I thought, I'm all for supporting small things, and yeah, I thought giving a shout out to them would be a good idea.
Cool.
All the small things. Oh, the small things.
Cute.
There you go. We have to have a section.
MacForce was next.
Yeah.
I'm
just-
so glad that I'd taken all those pictures. Mantic was
Good.
there. They were a funny chat. What I found most curious is that they told us that they are having so many people come in and asking for things like, is this for D&D? And he said a couple of years ago, that would have been people, in our age. But nowadays, those are all those 14, 15-year-old kids that have watched Stranger Things. Because apparently Stranger Things has been a massive push for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
And yeah, if you don't have a resin printer, that's some really good terrain for really affordable there.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes, go.
Flynn.
Wait.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Damn.
Warlord Games is not usually not my well, I stop there every year because that nice round bottom there is belonging to a former co-worker from Games Workshop. After
Okay.
Games Workshop kicked out everybody in Germany, they found other places to go, and he works for Warlord Games and does their distribution in Europe, I think.
And you just really like his butt?
No, it was he's a very, very funny guy, and we were fooling around, and I think he didn't want his face to be shown, so I took this very.
He showed you his other assets.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's
I
got
don't
to turn the other cheek.
he was aware that I was going to post that.
Oh, Flynn. Sorry, what's that, Simon?
I'm not sure if he was aware that I was going to post that, but he's a funny dude, and always
Nice.
good. Yeah. Next is The Drowned Earth, another funny story that I have found. The Drowned Earth, I think 5 years ago,
Cool
6 years
dinosaur.
ago, they went to the Spiel for the first time. That's
Yep.
a very interesting setting they have. Like as it suggests, the Earth has drowned, and it's like a post-apocalyptic setting with dinosaurs and walking and talking apes and smart, anthropomorphic figures.
Wait, Drowned Earth, like, is this like Waterworld? Like Kevin
Kind
Costner?
of, yes. Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have heard so far only very good things about the game. The game mechanics are supposed to be very good, and they have cool dinosaur models, which have
Yeah,
been
that
quite,
one looks really nice.
yeah. And they have all kinds of things, and it used to be hard to find good models for that, and they have been at the Spiel like 4 or 5 years ago, as I said, and I found them in the different hall. So they didn't know what they were doing when they went to the Spiel and ended up in some board game section. And I said, "You
Yeah.
are presenting a tabletop game. Why are you not in the tabletop hall?" And they said, "We don't know how goes here." And that was on Thursday, the time when I went there on Thursday. And so I said, well, the tabletop hall is down that way. And you have to talk to the people there because no one will find you here. And yeah, so I hooked them up with a couple of dudes and shop owners I knew.
Yep.
Yeah, and in my head, that gave this little system maybe a little help.
Aw.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it's really cool. They have like massively cool models, and I advise you to check that out because it really
Very good, Mother Hydra, helping out wherever needed.
Oh, miniature godmother Hydra.
yes, that's me. Who's next? It's all
Let's find
about
out.
networking after all, right?
What's that?
Oh yeah, that I'm not going to pronounce that name, but those were the most cool people around.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Harrow models.
Jed Harrow
Yeah,
models. I think
so,
they're from Spain. And I was not sure what to use the miniatures for, but they were really affordable, and they were also using Zeocast, like to incredible detail, and they had like all those things on sale, and I was spending like half an hour there. Almost felt like it. It didn't, but it was that long. But I took pictures of their models and stuff like that, and then I started posting on Instagram about them. And the dude said, "Oh yeah, what are you doing there?" And I said, "Well, just doing some Instagram stories of what I'm seeing." And he went to his phone and checked what I did, and gave me a couple of likes and said, "Well, wow, that's pretty cool what you are doing." So, and we got into talking a bit, and I was about to turn away, and because we were basically done. And he said if I wanted to have anything for my personal collection from them. And I was like, yeah, sure. What I like what you're doing. Whatever you give me, I will try to do it justice. And he said, no, you go and pick something. and I
Oh,
was like,
cool.
aside from what's sold out here, because we don't have it anymore, you can have whatever you want. And I looked at all those things and I was
Nice.
like, frick, because I'm not sure if you can see it on those pictures, but they have like really huge models. They have different
Oh.
different sizes and different scales. Like up to when you look at those angels in the back, those were,
Yeah.
I would say, around up to 30 centimeters high, like really big.
Whoa. Okay.
giant territory.
What?
Sorry?
Yeah, that's giant town.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Flynn wants to make a giant out of him.
And they were freaking beautiful, but I was standing there like a bit overwhelmed. And yeah, funnily, I think he was pretty surprised by my choice. What I took was some goblins. Basically, I thought he said one model, and I thought, what will I use it for? So I want to give the model, I want to do the model justice and not just put it on the pile of shame. So I should pick something I'm using. So I looked for something I could use, and ended up with a thing on the next slide, or 2 slides forward. No, one more. one of the smallest miniatures they have. It's a goblin queen.
Yeah.
They have a very adorable set of goblins with really cool face designs, and I really love them. And he looked at
Yeah.
me like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he kind of waved around her and the model standing around her, and said to his partner, like, "Pack this dude up those things." And in the end, he gave me 3 different units.
Yeah, I think he was thinking
Nice.
you'd be more of a, oh, I'll take a big thing in one go. And I think they're more like, this guy's being too humble. Give him more.
Maybe.
He's like, I want you to showcase my models, and you choose the Goblin Queen.
I'm not sure, but I found that very, very generous that he packed it all there, and that was it was
Nice.
one of those wonderful wonderful models moments of the Spiel where you know that the one who's standing on the other side is as passionate as you about models and painting and tabletop and stuff like that, and he just
Great.
wanted to share some love. That was really cool, and it felt like not you're buying from an anonymous company, but
Yeah.
from someone who's as passionate as you are.
Yeah, from an artist.
Yeah, and they really have the most beautiful. I'm far from liking dwarves. If there's
Mhm.
any fantasy faction I don't like, it's dwarves. But I
With
was
you.
born. But I was
Yeah,
born
you.
between dwarves and the goblins there, because they
Yeah.
have incredibly well proportioned female dwarves.
Cool.
It's very
So
rare.
Uh-oh, female dwarves. We just got hate posted by 1,000 Lord of the Rings morons.
yeah, and they don't have beards. Yeah.
That was a joke they made up for the thing.
Yeah. So
Um,
that was one of my personal highlights on the Spiel. The Jet Harrow.
nice.
dude.
Just want to flag that I need, because I'm in like weird daylight savings time still. I haven't switched like you guys have. I'm gonna have to wrap this up very soon.
Okay.
Oh,
I told Nora I'd be done in 15 minutes from now.
should we just play through?
Yeah. Let's not stop at everyone. Yeah.
Sorry,
dude,
started too
I'm
late.
seeing every year over and over again. He has invented like 2 different games himself. And FUK is a universal RPG system you can download for free, kind of, on his website, which is kind of neat. And it's also translated in English. This is what I told about Zeocast earlier, where they have like this weird thing where they have like super stackable prints with a super resin. Dogfighters is a game, a German game, a successful run on Kickstarter, where you have fights over beer in those historic-looking airplanes and zeppelins.
Oh, I've heard of this one. Yeah.
They have great concepts. Battle systems
Isn't their whole thing that like you can fight at different heights, and there's like a system in the game to like show what height you're flying at or something like that? I thought I heard about that.
That's a common system in like air fight games, but they have, what they did is they have those little pegs they put the planes on, have them magnetized, so it's very easy to switch them out and showcase the height of the models. It's very thought through. It's an incredibly beautiful board game. Not my kind of style, but it's pretty cool. As cool as
Nice.
battle systems.
Ooh, that was looking good. Wait, go back, Flynn. Creepy worm thing from Core Space Battle Systems.
Core Space is a pretty cool game, but it sadly uses the battle system board game. What they do is they print, they sell a board game terrain. And the big problem with cardboard terrain, like it's double-sided printed, but wherever you punch it out, you always have the gray punch-out lines, and so you have to go back on every of those gray lines and cover them with a brush or a pen or anything like that. If you do that, it really looks amazing. And even if you don't, it still looks pretty cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. But those
Yep.
core space miniatures are amazing. They're pretty cool. And of course, they had miniatures painted by Giraldes as well. Surprise!
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, but if you're into like very interactive with the terrain kind of game style, it plays almost like a computer game where you open up chests and you have like little tokens in there to pick up if you get a new weapon, stuff like that.
Cool. Okay.
That's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool game, I think. As I said, not 100% my thing, but it looks pretty cool. And has, if you continue, Flynn, it has all kinds of different factions and themes, and it's pretty cool. And there you can see, of course, instantly the style of Giraldes. Kraken War Games showcasing here the 40k disco. Freebooters miniatures has been for some people like the blast this year because they had someone giving demos in a massive teddy bear costume. Like he was the dude supposed like massively big, and But what I like most about them is that they go back one more, that they are doing basically the range for their pirates from Monkey Island. Like Chuckling, she's the pirate lady from the pirate duel where you have like to spit curses at each other. I don't know if you played the game, but that's pretty hilarious. Okay, if you haven't, it's fantastic. It's a massively good game. It's an old point and click adventure game.
Oh wait, you're talking about Monkey Island?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super famous. Yeah, they actually just released a remake of it, and apparently it's very good.
And what Freebooter Miniatures is doing is that they take characters from the game and turn them into tabletop miniature games.
Whoa, neat.
So here you have like the Pirate Queen, and when you go to the next slide, you have Guybrush, and next to him is the big bad pirate dude.
Oh, you wrote Money Island instead of Monkey Island.
Oh shit.
Money Island. That's what it's going to be for these guys.
$1 bills, y'all.
Yeah. At that point, I was already pretty worn out and
tired, probably, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine.
And I stumbled into this. It's a Kickstarter from a game I have forgotten. He started talking. I was not very interested, but I picked up that miniatures and I thought, well, this looks like a blend of a Chaos Space Dwarf. You can see that I couldn't spell anymore. Yeah, that was pretty funny. The helmet is a Space Marine helmet.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. No question. Not even trying to hide it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we had Eldfall Chronicles. They were screwed over by their by having all their stock not being delivered because their container got stuck somewhere. So they just were able to showcase miniatures. Of course, we see more from Giraldes. And we should have made the Giraldes drinking game. And
Who says we haven't? I've been drinking every time.
Oh, he's way ahead of you.
In the end, we had Titanforge, as I mentioned earlier. And Titanforge was, to me, the biggest hit of the show. Because those were just funky miniatures. The pictures will show up, but Titanforge had those candy containers.
Gachapon. So in Japan, they're called gachapon. I think that's where they came from.
Yeah.
And the idea is you like put in money and you randomly get something and you don't really know what you're going to get. There's like a chance of you'll get something that you really want.
And they had loot boxes.
They had different tastes, like different styles. and that was basically the last thing. At some point, I felt like I would like to spend money on something, but I didn't
Mhm.
know on what.
Yeah.
And I almost was like, okay, I'm not going to buy anything. And then we stopped at that. They were right at the exit, and so we stopped at their.
Oh, sneaky.
Yeah, they were not in the tabletop hall, so they had those, and every one of us, I think, dumped like one of those balls was €2, so it was not
Mhm.
really much. So there was a dice in there, a D20, a candy, and yeah, and we got in a rage because I pulled this thing on the first pull, and it perfectly fits into my Stargrave crew.
Oh, it's so
And
nice.
it is, and I got it painted up, and the others got so excited about him, and that we were four people, and if four people stop at something where it looks like a crowd, and other people stopped, and we got into talking, and so there were trades of oh, you got this and I got that and I want yours, would you be willing to trade,
Yeah.
and back and forth, and that was amazingly cool. And at some point, my friends from Maga Potato got recognized, and yeah, then there was a big oh yeah, meet and greet, and
People were
they
asking to sign their butts. It just got out of hand.
exactly, yeah. And because I was hanging around with them, they thought I was belonging to the team as well.
But you do, don't you do stuff with them?
Yeah, I do stuff with them, but I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not a fixed team member.
Okay. You're a fixed team member in my heart, Simon.
He's a fixed team member here.
Damn fucking right. Don't be cheating on us with no other fixed team.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and that was basically it. Afterwards, we were freaking tired and went home.
Thank you. Thanks for giving, I'm glad you took all these pictures, and thanks for giving us the rundown of Spiel 2022.
You are
Also,
very good.
you did what you normally do, which is inject some welcome non-Games Workshop content into the stream.
Yeah, and I think it's really worth it to look beyond what you usually used to
Yeah.
see, especially when I think about I recently was trying to shop stuff for here my Necropolis 28.
Yeah.
Right now, my hype, and I stopped that at the prices from Games Workshop for their models, and I was like, yeah, no, yeah, no.
Oh, you were going to buy Games Workshop stuff for Necropolis, and then you decided not to because they're so expensive?
Yeah. Like I wanted some what's that, Rattlebone
Skeletons?
skeleton. And that was I thought they were fooling me. I think there were 50 euros for for 20 models, of which half of them is the same as the other half, because you can
just
get
duplicated
the same frame 2 times in there. And I was like, excuse me, I don't want to sell my kidney. I just want to get a bunch of skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's always worth a look into other things.
Good.
Can be very rewarding.
All right. And unfortunately with that, I think I'm going to have to call it, because like I said, North America has not shifted our clocks yet. We're going to shift our clocks this Saturday. So then we'll be back on the normal time. So I realize this is earlier than when we normally close down, but we also started late, and I wanted to talk about Midvember and kind of review what's been going on with Midvember, but now we're out of time. So I'm sorry.
I think we haven't, because for some reason my Instagram has gone a bit crazy with actually showing. It doesn't go reels, recent, and top posts anymore. It just goes, here's a filter for all time, last week, and last 2 weeks. So I haven't been able to properly check everything. And Also, just a reminder: make sure when you guys are posting, you're gonna tag Warp Shadow in the
At
actual
mention Warp Shadow, yeah, not a hashtag. At Warp
so
Shadow.
we can get around that random issue. And
Yep.
I'm going to be doing a story post on Warp Shadow at some point with one of those like stickers that go like, "Oh, post something else," and it goes
Oh,
onto other people's.
smart. I like that. This
But
way,
yeah,
people are gonna rip it off and put Space Marines on it.
yeah, Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
hopefully
cool.
everyone's November is going well. We'll talk more about it on the next stream. Sorry, Hydra?
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to say that it's weird who's using the November hashtag, like people who have, I don't know. I don't want to go into detail.
Oh, you've seen that? Folks who aren't doing Tyranids are using it?
Oh, Puppets War. They actually used it.
Who did?
Puppets War?
Puppets War used it.
Woo.
Little bastards. For their not quite Tyranids that storyboard guy's obsessed with.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Flynn. You know you got to hit when.
When a business is using your hashtag.
An established miniature company is trying to rip it off. We did start this, right? Did we start this? Was this our thing to begin with?
So I did a little bit of research. I'm claiming is that
Oh,
we
nice.
did. Because
Good.
when they were doing a NID release in like 2013, everyone was kind of expecting it to be coming out in like the November, and so some people tried calling it
Oh.
Midvember at that point. Didn't really
So you
take
didn't
off.
invent it. Okay.
Didn't really take off at all for it.
Yeah.
If you look online, there's maybe like 5-6 posts spread across 5 or 6 different websites of one person basically trying to post, or a few different people trying to post about it. And that was it. Nothing else happened the following year because it was more of a, oh, it's a Nidvember. No, we've done properly things with it. We've made Nidvember.
Okay. We got to do that. There's that Google thing where you can like look up on Google historic searches for like a term.
That's what I did.
See when it starts. Oh, look at you.
And there is nothing at all for Nidvember.
Oh, sweet.
Guys, start
Well, I guess it's
start
mostly on
searching
social,
Nidvember.
right?
Start searching Nidvember. Make it pop up.
Okay. I shouldn't start on that. I gotta go. Okay. Yes, I gotta roll. But Simon, thank you so much for your spiel report.
You are welcome.
I'm glad we got through it. Flynn, thank you for running that and for also doing some comment stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I guess we can wait 2 weeks before we talk about November again, but then it'll be half over. But whatever. What's that?
We'll have half the post out.
Right.
We'll have more
That's a good point. More to look at. Okay. I'm really happy to be working on NIDS again. I meant to talk about this, but I've been doing more video editing and less model stuff, and I just said, damn it, I want to do model stuff. So I should have a new video out tomorrow, but I haven't finished editing it yet. So it's going to be some time. I had this like epic plan that I was going to have a new video out every weekend of November about a different topic, and that hasn't happened. Good night, Lukewarm Reception. Thanks for joining. Owl Shield, good night. Felix, Tom Wilson, thank you all for joining. Kajan, thanks, buddy. Diana's signing off. See you later. Kajan said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe if you're just like and subscribe.
Ring the bell.
And ring the bell. Yeah, and we'll be back on Wednesday with a Work in Progress Wednesday stream. Chat with all of you then. And have a happy November. Have a safe November. And I hope you have lots of creative... What the hell? We haven't really gotten much from Symbio. He's just been sitting here patiently.
As I said, I will sit here patiently smiling.
Symbio, you got to say something before we shut it down.
He's doing the most important job of looking pretty.
He is looking very
keeping
pretty.
the 5th member at bay.
Good man. Symbio,
I sat down
Symbio,
on
tell
him,
us something.
forcing him to not interfere.
Good man. Say something. Tell us something.
check out the November hashtag. It is mind-blowing. And what can I say? I thought I can kick it off and be like the cool kid, but I ate a lot of humble pie. Oh boy, did I eat humble pie.
All right, thanks, buddy, and thanks for joining. All right, I will talk to all of you later. Have a good one, and good night.